broken ribs, fractured pelvis.
Fractured pelvis?
Pelvis.
How does that happen?
I don't know. That's why we're talking to you. That's why we're talking to Kevin.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Bleeding on the brain and a swollen brain.
Friends, today's dusty demon is Crooked Hilary. In 2015, 14-month-old Nicolas Kuras was found cold and stiff. He was rushed to hospital. Police then bring in Hilary to find out what happened. We're going to start with her version of events.
So why don't you take me through what happened during the day?
Well, we hung out. We had some visitors at like 5, and then he went and played euchre. I dropped him off, and then I came back home. I changed the baby's diaper. I put his pajamas on. I washed his little crusty hair, and then I set him. There's a closet, and there's one of those 3 storage plastic bins that have some extra clothes in it. And I set his back to that because I was going to put the bumper pads on the crib because his legs and arms are starting to go through them.
Okay, I don't know what the house looks like, so I'm kind of confused.
Well, it just, where the crib is, it's here, and then the closet's here. So I had to pull the crib out so I can get the bumper pads on.
Okay.
So I put him right there because it was the safest spot.
On what?
On the floor.
On the floor, okay.
Yeah. And then he was already starting to fall asleep while I was changing him. And he fell asleep. He does it often. I tried telling the other guy that. He does it often. He falls asleep sitting up. And he fell to the side. He woke himself up crying because he hit his head. I picked him up. I coddled him. I gave him his bottle. And I laid him back down. He threw his bottle at me. I took the bottle. I tucked him in. Put his music on. I shut the door. Put the bottle in the fridge. And then I went and sat and watched TV.
Okay. Do you remember what time you put him in bed?
Oh, it was between 7:30 and 8.
Okay. And when did Kevin leave?
Kevin, I had already dropped off.
Oh, you already dropped him off?
Yeah, we took the baby with us.
So when you say we got back, it was
it was
the
just
baby.
me and the baby.
All right. Now what did he hit his head on?
It was the door frame of the closet.
Closet door frame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What did the sound like? Was it loud?
It was just a boom. Just like an average little fall from a kid.
Okay. All right. And then, so between 7 and 7:30 is p.m. Yesterday was when that happened.
7:30 and 8.
And you put him to bed. Okay, and then what? You watched some TV?
And then I watched TV and then he came home.
Okay.
And yes, the baby did wake up. We thought he was coughing, so I went in there with the bottle, thought maybe he was restless. He didn't want to take it, so I rubbed his belly and I walked away because he stopped.
About what time was that?
I don't know. It was in the middle of the night. And
were you already in bed or were you guys still up?
We were still up.
Okay.
And then he did it again. So then Kevin went in there, thought maybe he'd soothe him because he is a daddy's boy. Those two are each other's worlds. And he rubbed his belly, he stopped crying, and came back out, and then we continued on with our night.
All right, so then you guys continued playing cards, drinking, and then went to bed?
Well, no, we continued in the bedroom. We were already done drinking, and
okay.
I didn't even drink one beer.
You didn't even have one beer?
I'm not a big drinker. I have medical issues. I have health issues.
Now, you guys went to bed. You guys had sex. You guys went to bed to sleep after that?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
but you gotta understand, not that you care, but when we do have sex, it's till the morning.
Was Kevin still in bed with you when when you woke up to the baby crying?
No, Kevin was in there changing his diaper. And he was stiff as a board. I'm like, why are you doing that? He's like, why are you so stiff? Stop. And then he brought him to me. And his head just...
Okay. I'm a little bit confused on that statement. You woke up to the baby monitor, right?
Right.
How do you know that he was changing his diaper?
Because it's routine. It's the same thing.
But so you don't know, it's just what he normally does.
Yeah, Kevin gets up. We both do it. We get up to him crying. We go right to the changing table. We change his diaper. And he always cries for a diaper change. Always, except for my mom. Mm-hmm. And then we get a bottle. We have cartoon time. We have playtime.
Okay, and then you heard him saying, what again?
Why are you doing that? Because he was stiff. What's wrong?
Could you
So-
see him at this point?
Yes.
While you're listening to it on the monitor?
Yes, because the changing table's right in the doorway and I was sitting on the edge of the bed getting ready to get up.
So, that is her explanation. Basically, she doesn't know. Police are not buying her story. So now she's gonna go into some kind of sob story to seek sympathy. Keep in mind, the boy is still alive in hospital. Now I am gonna cover this as a true crime story with more detail on my other channel on the weekend. So watch out for that story. But let's continue with this police interview.
Are you okay physically?
No, I'm not.
What's wrong with you physically?
I'm in pain every day.
From an old injury or?
No, I'm very sick.
Do you mind me asking
I
why?
have a rare blood disease. I'm the only one in the world with it. And I have spondylitis, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, costochondritis, and some other new mystery. If I knew something, I would tell you this is not how I want my third chance of life to be. Not at all. Oh, just to be happy. Not going on.
You do understand that if we figure out what happened and the doctors are able to help him and he's okay, then everything goes away. Right now, the doctors need the guidance to help him.
I don't know if I knew. If I knew, I would have told the doctors. I don't see why he would.
You know, and I hope that you're telling me the truth.
I have nothing to lie about. Nothing at all to lie about. At all. I just want that.
But I know you say you have to look at it how others look
I
from the
do.
outside.
I do. I can see it.
looking in.
I can't.
Okay, people have a lot to lie for. I've been doing this job for
I know.
21 years.
People do have a lot to lie
People
for.
have a
And
lot
I
to
have
lie
nothing
for.
to gain by lying. I have nothing to gain.
There
My
is
life
stuff to
does
gain.
not. By lying,
Mhm.
not for me. I still have nothing to lie about. Ever. Ever, ever, ever.
I know, but when you make a statement like that, that leads somebody to believe you do have something to lie about. And now is this the first time you guys have ever dated?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys have a long history.
We weren't really friends in school. And I moved away. And then I was alone for 10 years. If I knew all this,
If you knew all what?
I'd be tied up in all of this and everything else that relationships bring, not even necessarily this one. I'd rather be alone for another 10 years. Everybody else trying to start shit with us. And then we finally got rid of all of them. And now it's been easy peasy. It's been wonderful. And now here we are.
But we're here for a reason.
Yes, we are.
Mhm.
Don't take it in the wrong way. We are, because I want nothing but the best for that child, for that baby. I love him as if he were my own, 100%, as if he was my own. I would never change it for the world. I want him to have everything in the world.
Well, we want him to recover fully so he can have a good life.
I don't know anything. I swear to you, I don't know anything. I told you everything I know. Everything. We all get frustrated, like you said, and we all walk away, but I don't know anything. I don't know anything at all. I told you everything I know.
So that's the end of her sob story. The police are now gonna go on the attack. And make sure you watch for when the next officer comes, because he's not taking any of her shit.
I told you everything I know.
Hilary,
I keep
you haven't been able to look at me once.
Because I
okay?
don't.
But you keep
I
saying,
do
I don't
that.
know, I don't
do
know,
that.
I don't
That's
know,
how
I don't know.
deal with things. I can't look at people in the face. I can't. Never have been able to. Not since I've been a little girl. Not since everything has happened to me. I never have been able to do it. Ever.
Hey, what's wrong with your hands and arms?
Because
you're moving it pretty good right now.
Gripping. He was mad.
You had sex to the early morning hours.
Right, and he was mad that I didn't want to continue.
You got up.
I fell asleep.
He was mad because you didn't want to continue?
Yeah, not like angry.
Okay.
And
where was your phone at?
My phone?
Mm-hmm.
Probably on the kitchen table where we were playing cards.
Is your phone locked?
No, he'd be able to get into it if he wanted to.
Which you did. Because he told us he didn't.
No, I know. Cause
and he was pretty pissed off at you.
About what?
About some text message you found.
I don't know what you're talking about. At all. Fill me in.
Some text message that somebody was talking about him.
Someone was talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Maybe another guy.
Another guy. I have a guy friend. The last thing that he had said was, "You still got that job hookup?" And another one I check in, he checks in with me and the family and him, and the same as I do, once a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I can think of.
Okay, so.
And those weren't recent.
Okay. Well, he was upset about some text you got.
I have no idea.
When he went through your phone.
Okay.
And that's probably why he was sleeping in the other room.
That's probably why. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, great relationship we have.
Right. Someone who's so sure and trust and this and that, and I don't know.
You don't know what?
If that's why, if he ended up angry, I don't know. I was sleeping. I have no answers for you. I don't. I have none. I mean, I'm sure I could make up some.
No, I don't want anybody to make anything up. I've already explained that to you. I don't really care. Except I just want the truth to come out.
What is wrong with him? Maybe I could tell me what's wrong with him.
I just gave you a couple of the issues.
No, I mean, I get the ribs. I can't do that. My hands just don't allow it. If it did, it's a miracle.
Did you shake the baby?
No, absolutely not. No shaking the baby. I know what it does to them. I've watched it. No shaking the baby. Unreal.
Okay.
Do I even want to know?
I don't think you do. But I'm going to tell you. Broken ribs. Fractured pelvis.
Fractured pelvis? How does that happen?
I don't know. That's why we're talking to you. That's why we're talking to Kevin.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Bleeding on the brain. And a swollen brain. That boy, no matter what, if he cried a lot, if he
didn't deserve it.
Exactly, he didn't deserve it.
Nobody deserves that. Nobody. Not one single person.
So what happened?
I don't know. I don't know how you get a pelvic, whatever you said. I don't know how that would happen. The only thing I could think of is with the head, is when he fell. No. That's the only thing I can think of.
He fell from sitting on the floor. Listen, babies, I had 3 babies.
No, I know.
You had a baby.
I know.
It doesn't happen.
My kid ran into pools.
Babies are
first.
resilient.
Yes.
Okay?
I don't know.
And that is consistent of a baby being shaken, their head, not bumping their head.
I always support his head.
What did you see in the morning?
This morning? When he brought him to me? This morning?
Before that?
This morning? I didn't see anything. He was changing his diaper.
Hear?
Why are you doing that? Stop doing that. And I assumed it was because he was straightening out. I don't know. That's all I saw. It was over the monitor. I
don't care if you're half asleep or not. You better figure out what happened.
did not shake that baby. No.
Hey, the forensics are going to be coming in, so I'm telling you what, if the prints are consistent with your fingers, you're done. You understand that? Because we sat here and we lied.
I didn't lie to you. I don't know.
Did you have problems with the baby last night?
No. None. He cried when Kevin got out of the car, lays there, and he looks at me while he holds his bottle with his left hand with these big brown eyes. Got out of the car. He cried when I picked him up out of the car seat. Yes. And he cried into the house. And I set him on the floor. He cried. I laid him back because I don't use the changing table because it's not comfortable. So I laid him on the floor. I changed his butt. He had a couple of poops in his thing. I folded the diaper up. I wiped him. I put his pajamas on. And then I went downstairs. I left him there. I ran downstairs real quick. Could hear him crying the whole time. I grabbed all his bedding so I could make his bed. And then I put the mattress cover on and the sheet on. And then I grabbed the bumper pads out of the closet. And then I moved him towards the closet so I could tie these stupid bumper pads on. And I pushed the crib back to the thing. And in the meantime of doing that, he fell asleep. And boom. He woke up crying. I held him, gave him his bottle. That's all I remember. Just putting him into bed.
Then he was in bed until the morning.
Yes, and we both had went in there one time in the middle of the night because it sounded like he was coughing or he was restless. And I went and grabbed the bottle out of the fridge and I took it because he didn't end up drinking his bottle at nighttime. He threw it at me.
This was just to make sure I have my recollection correctly. This was why you guys were still playing cards, right?
We were getting ready to have sex when I went in there to give him his bottle, and he didn't take his bottle. And now that I think about it, he was kind of weird that when I went to give him his bottle, like he just wouldn't open his mouth, like it was just weird. And then I had taken the bottle back, and I just looked at Kevin. I said he doesn't want it, so he got quieted down. I went back in there, rubbed his belly a little bit. Came back out. We started. Then I said, you go on and check on him. He went in there and checked on him, and he quieted right down, and Kevin came out, and then we continued our night. That's all. I'm trying. I don't know.
All right. That doesn't look good for you.
I think, and I don't know.
Baby's with you, goes to bed, rustles a couple times during the night. You both go in and check on him.
Because that's how he is.
And the baby's got injuries all over his body. You said you have some health conditions, some health issues. Does that ever make you black out?
My vision does go out every now and then, but it hasn't happened.
I'm talking about not vision, I'm talking about memory.
If it's a new thing, I don't know.
But you never have before.
No, I've got new things going on with me every day. And right now, I'm a mystery again. So I don't even want to think about that. I don't even want to think about that.
I just got back from the hospital. The results of our investigation clearly show that you did this. Okay? And I want to sit down and talk to you to get an understanding as to why, as to what happened.
Oh, no.
Now we all get worked up. You
No, I
Hilary? Hilary. We all get worked up. We all make mistakes. Everybody has a lapse of judgment every now and then. Okay? We're all... Any person who tries to tell you they've never had a lapse of judgment or made a mistake in a moment of extreme tension is lying to you. They're crazy. We've all been through it. Okay? And there's a brief 3 to 5 second window in everybody's life where something happens that they regret. I do this for a living, Hilary. This is what I deal with. Every day. I've been doing it for 15 years. I had a nice, shiny, full set of hair when I started. We all fall off the handle. You witnessed that earlier. Okay? Because we're all concerned for Nico. I think you're concerned for Nico. I think you're a good person who made a mistake. Okay? That's what I believe. Because there's two different types of people that I deal with when dealing with things like this, Hilary. There's a person who just has something wrong and likes to hurt kids and really, really cause damage and repeatedly does it over a long course of time and time again. There's that person, and if you're that type of person, and I don't think you are, there's no reason for me to even talk to you, Hilary. But if you're like me, the type of person that I think that you are, you're a person that loves with your whole heart. You love Nico. You love Kevin. You love that family that you've created. And you got a little overwhelmed, didn't you?
No.
You just got a little overwhelmed, Hilary.
No.
You got overwhelmed in a moment. And you made a mistake. And you made a mistake that you regret. And that's what I'd like to believe. You made a mistake, didn't you, Hilary?
No.
You made a mistake, and Nico got hurt, and you didn't mean to do that.
I did.
Hilary, we can explain a mistake. We can do that, and then I can give the doctors the information they need to help him. It's okay to make mistakes. Have a lapse of judgment. A brief second, which is all it takes. And then you think he's okay, and everything's okay, and you put him to bed. Thinking he was okay. If you would have thought something was wrong with him, you would have called your mom or 911 right then, wouldn't you have? If you thought something was wrong with him, you wouldn't have put him to bed, right? Right, Hilary? You wouldn't have put him to bed, would you?
No.
You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have put him to bed if you would have thought something was wrong with him. I believe that. But what happens is his body is telling a completely different story than what is coming out of your mouth. Okay? And we can go with that story. We can go with the science of it. And the world is going to think something completely out of line about you and who you are. But when you tell us the truth and tell us about the mistake that happened, the small lapse of judgment that we're talking about that led to these injuries that you didn't even know he had, or else you would have tended to him, we can explain it and we can show what really happened, that you're not a cold, heartless bitch. 'Cause I don't think you are. You're not, are you?
Fuck no.
No, you're not. That's not you. You're a loving person.
He fell off the changing table.
He fell off the changing table? When did that happen? Last night? How did he fall off the changing table?
I walked away for a second.
What'd you say?
I walked away for a second.
You walked away and he fell off the changing table. Okay, so then what happened?
I ran when he started crying.
He started crying.
And I picked him up and I held him.
Okay.
And then he just kind of fell asleep in my arms. But the whole thing with the closet door didn't happen.
Okay, I believe it did happen. I don't think me and Detective Marlowe aren't calling you a liar about that. We just know that didn't cause his injury.
You did call me a liar. Both of you did.
Okay. Did you try to squeeze him real tight to hug him?
I did.
You hugged him real tight? I think we all agree that you love him. You've proved that. We all have lapses in judgment. I keep saying that.
If I would have purposely done it, I would have been stuck around for it.
Well, I don't think you purposely did it, Hilary. I think you made a mistake. I think maybe you got worked up. Because something happened.
I didn't get worked up and hurt him. He fell.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you the truth. I fucking told you the truth and you still got me alive.
When you came into the room, was he on his stomach or on his back?
He was on his stomach.
On his stomach? Okay. Was he crying or was he...
He was crying.
Okay. And what'd you do?
I swooped him up immediately.
Okay. And then what?
I was holding him and rocking him and hugging him.
Did you give him a bottle then? Or did you just put him into bed?
He took it for a second, then he threw it at me.
Okay. And you put him into bed?
Yeah.
Or something? You put him on his stomach or on his back?
On his back.
Did you notice any bruising on him?
No. Just his eye from last week.
Okay.
If I hadn't been done,
I still think there's stuff you're not telling me though,
I
Hilary.
don't know.
Just
Of course you do.
because the reason being because the injuries don't match up.
I don't know what
You
to
know?
tell you. I don't know. That's all that happened.
Just the full story, Hilary.
That's all that happened. I don't know if he hit there's two shelves attached to the changing table. I don't know if he went down underneath it when he fell off. I don't know if any part of the body hit those shelves because I wasn't in the room. I was around the corner in the hallway.
Did you ever shake him at all?
No.
Not in an angry way?
No.
In like a are you okay kind of way?
Not like that. No, I tossed him up in the air before and I've caught him.
I mean tonight, or last
Yeah,
night.
I tossed him up in the air and I've caught him. I play with him like that all the time.
Okay.
All the time.
Did you toss him up in the air and didn't catch him once?
No, absolutely not.
Did you throw him up in the air and catch him a little bit tight?
I could have possibly, because I have to use more strength than I normally would because of my body.
Yeah. How'd you catch him?
Well, with my hand.
On his
But I
rib?
have to put more strength into it.
Yeah. So you're saying it might have been an accident that you squeezed him too tight on his ribs when you caught him? Before that, you were trying to make him happy?
He was crying when I held him out of the car seat.
Okay. And you walked him in what?
We were just goofing around, and I try to be a little retarded for him, so he laughs.
Okay. And what happened?
It wasn't working, so I thought I'd try to toss him in the air and make him smile.
Okay. And what happened?
I just caught him and that was it.
Did he cry or anything when you caught him? He didn't show that he was hurt?
No.
How hard do you think you squeezed him?
I don't know.
You don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
Is it a wooden floor by the changing table? Or in that whole room?
It's carpet, but there's stuff all over the place.
Yeah. Did he fall on something?
I don't know. I don't know. It could be possible because there's a rocking chair right there. And Kevin was slacking on cleaning his room, and I haven't got to it yet.
I know you don't want him to be hurt. I think if you had a magic wand, you'd turn back time, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys need to do an interrogation room
Why is that?
because I can hear you guys whisper in there.
Oh. That's the patrolman going in and off shift.
No, it's not her. She's not writing anything.
Could have been a patrolman. I wasn't in there at that point.
Here, Hilary. Use your cup as an ashtray. Because we're not supposed to be smoking in here, okay?
Thank you.
So if you're in here and Kevin's in here, there's no one there for Nico.
I know.
And you love Nico and Kevin loves Nico.
Kevin would never hurt that little boy.
So there's no chance Kevin did this.
Absolutely not.
And you know that because...
Because he loves him. I witness it every day. That boy loves him. And he loves him.
And because you were there when Nico got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Boy, he had a bruise on his face. What happened on that one?
There was a frisbee that had circles in it, and I had this temporary kitchen table because I had just moved in, and it had wood legs, and it was laying on a certain way. And when Nico got faster than himself, his arms came out, and he fell on it, and it ended up on his head.
Is there any other times he got hurt when you were watching him?
No, he's woken up with scratches and the playpen torn apart before.
Okay.
But that's from his fingernails, I assume, or when he takes the bottom of the playpen out and throws it over the side of the playpen.
Okay. And then you were talking something about a blackout, that you have these blackouts?
No, I don't know. Your partner put it in my head and it scares the shit out of me.
What, that you might have blacked out?
Yeah.
Why do you think that you might have blacked
Because
out?
they just took me off of one of my medications and there's something going on and they don't know what it is.
But you've never had blackouts before?
No. The only thing that severely happened to me is when I first got sick, I lost all vision. And I was working for a Montessori school with infants, and it was the scariest things ever. And then to go to the ER and never come home. And to find out that you're dying.
You're dying?
I relapsed twice. I have a rare and fatal blood disease. I'm the only one in the world with it.
Okay. So you are currently dying?
I was. I've been in remission for 3 years
Oh, okay.
so far, but ever since I went into remission, I got all these other diseases. Maybe I'm just not meant to be here. I love that little boy. I don't want him hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be dead than let him hurt. I would give my life to make him have one.
For Nico?
Yeah.
Or for your son, for Nathan? Or Nathaniel?
Nico, I would trade my life for Nico right now.
Because you feel so bad?
I do. I don't want him to hurt.
What if I told you the doctors are saying that those injuries couldn't have been caused by a fall?
I don't know. That's what happened. That's what happened. I don't know. That's just what happened.
That's the problem that we're having with this,
I
Hilary,
don't
is
know.
that they're saying the injuries aren't consistent with the
So
fall.
I know more of the truth and now I'm lying again.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm saying this is what the doctors are telling me.
Oh,
I know you're afraid of losing your family.
of course, but I'm not lying. Nothing else happened. Nothing else happened with me and him. That's it.
You said that before, and then you told us some
No,
more stuff.
that's it.
This is it?
That's it. That's it. That's it. I crossed my heart home to die. Please come take me if I'm lying. Please, I don't want to be here if I'm lying. I'm not lying. I don't want that little boy to hurt.
You never saw Kevin hurt.
No.
There's no chance he could have done this.
No.
Could you see him the whole time he was in the room with him with the changing table?
No.
No.
But he would never. He would pass him off or walk away. He would never hurt that baby. He would never hurt that baby. Never. Ever.
Breeze good? When you felt that, it was the changing table, not the dresser, right?
Right.
There's 3 sides to the changing table. Which side did he fall off? Where was he laying when you came in?
It's against the wall,
Mhm.
long ways like this. He was down here.
So on the long side,
Yeah.
not on either short side, just so it's laying on the floor in the middle of the room, kind of.
Yeah, and his leg was up on the bottom shelf of the changing table.
Which leg?
I don't remember.
He was face down, right?
Yeah, I think it was his left, but I don't remember.
Okay.
I just want to be okay.
Take a second and calm down, and then write this down, okay? Write your new statement out, the one that's the truth. Okay? Can you do that? You want me to step out so you can do it?
I don't care.
Want me to stay with you?
I don't care. Just don't come in.
I'm gonna step out for 1 second. Okay? You just start writing a little bit. Okay? You stretching?
Yeah, I can't. My back is really bad.
Okay. Why don't you sit down and then lean
I
your back against the chair?
can't sit.
You can't sit?
No, it's one of my diseases. It causes my pelvis and my spine to fuse together.
Okay.
So I have to move every now and then.
What do you need right now?
Nothing.
Nothing? Just to stand there?
I just want him to be better. I just don't want him to be hurt.
You sit down.
I can't right now. It hurts my hips, my spine.
Just sit with your back against the wall?
Just like this.
Okay.
Right now.
Can you take a step to the right so you don't fall into this table a little bit? There you go. Why don't we get you out of here and let you lay down? So you don't have to stand against a wall.
I can't lay down.
You can't lay down?
I won't get up. It's locked in place.
Okay.
I just need to walk for a minute.
Let me see it's clear and then I'll let you walk, okay?
I can just walk in circles in here.
You want to walk? Okay. Your mom went and got your son. Make sure he's okay. Do you want to write another statement or do you want to just...
I need the truthful one.
Okay.
So that's the end of her police interview. Let me tell you how this case ends. It's gonna blow your mind, right? So I'll just read this out to you. Thursday, September 22nd, 2016. Hilary, Crooked Hilary that is found guilty of first-degree child abuse. Yes, first-degree child abuse, not murder, because the boy was still alive. See, after all the hospital appointments and treatments, he survived, but for the next 5 years, he had to breathe through a tube. Kevin took good care of him. Kevin is not guilty in this entire case. I do have his interview coming soon. Just waiting on it. You might think of Kevin being slightly neglectful, but Kevin did nothing to hurt the boy, and he loved him very dearly. Unfortunately, given all his injuries, around 5 years later, in 2021, Nicolas died. So initially Hilary was sentenced to 11 years, but then, when the boy passed away, Hilary was sentenced to life in prison. Crooked Hilary indeed. Comment, tell me what you think.